I did 99 of these good ideas up and down the country there is, Councillor Shackleton.
This is just such a massive area.
Right,
Sorry, Chair.
is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Because time's going on now. Councillor Shackleton and then Councillor
along with Councillor Meekers, Councillor Rex, we both attended the Firelake Bowling Club AGM, which was very well attended by members. They've had a reasonably good year, not team-wise, but individually, and the two members have appeared in regional finals. And we also had an international game, England ladies versus, I can't remember who we said, but apparently they had a very good day. Unfortunately, the Borough Council has stepped in and decided to raise their rent this year by £100, which for a small club like Firelake, you know, it's quite a lot. I believe that it comes at no cost to the Borough Council, as to our allotments to the borough, but obviously for no reason they raised their rent, which I think they feel quite disappointed with. That's it. So they're looking forward to next year. They hope to get the green in good condition, and we wish them all the best for next year.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor Shackleton. Councillor Holden-Barnes.
It's a question to Councillor Shackleton actually. Has they given a reason why they put the rent up?
Well, it's a young lady that's been around and measured everything up and decided to
Put it up?
raise it up. Because they've done a check on their assets here. Obviously they're commercialising all their assets, haven't they? So they've put the rent up.
Okay. Any more questions of Councillor Shackleton? No. Is there any more reports, please? Councillor Wright.
We should have had a meeting for the lighting, and just to inform you, we didn't, because I didn't know about it, and I'm only chairman. But just to say, the lights are up, they're going to be lit on Friday. We have to ask them to hold that lighting up before the Armistice Day. So they will be lit on Friday, and the problem in Hope Street is hopefully resolved.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Well, I hope so.
Good.
That's all I can say. Till the lights go on, I haven't done it. I went with to see them and everything seemed okay.
Councillor Shackleton.
Yeah, just moving on from there, I've noticed the Christmas trees up at the bus station.
Yes.
So thank you to the board for that.
Everything else is on track, I think, for Christmas trimming and
Right, thank you very much for that. Is there any more reports, please? No? Yes, Councillor Anthony?
Just to say, because of illnesses, I was unable to attend the AGM of Discover Firelake on Monday, but I understand that the board were re-elected en masse and then took the decision to wind up Discover Firelake.
Okay.
I think that's very sad.
It
We
is.
put an awful lot of work into that. Very, very sad that.
Councillor Cockle wants to come in, so at this point I must move standing order 3E and adjourn the meeting so Councillor Cockle can speak. Councillor Cockle.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, just on the Discover Firelake, I was at that meeting, and yes, as Councillor Ansby reported, they've elected the committee to the board to wind it up. The assets will be disposed of in line with the Constitution. So there is some funding which will be available to similar organisations, and also some of the assets, the items, the wigwams and binoculars, they're going to be open for bids for different organisations. It is a very sad thing, but I did assure them that the work that they've done, I will carry that forward, particularly to do with the Discovery Centre in the discussions at the Borough Council when we're looking at improvements, enhancements to the country park.
Right.
So a lot of the work that they've done will not be lost.
Thank you for that, Councillor Cockle. Councillor Wright.
Before things go ahead though on there, I mean, there's been rumours about taking the play area away, building on there, and all that's come by the board. I know it has.
Absolutely.
A load of rubbish.
A load of
it is.
rubbish.
Okay. But anything else and where and when and everything's happening, will Bailey Town Council be informed
Yes.
beforehand?
I was in line with
Thank
the
you.
memorandum of understanding, and that's why Stuart Clark and myself came the other month
Yes,
to talk about the glamping. You know, that's
Yes.
short term.
yes.
Anything else is a bit longer term, but certainly the town council will be kept informed.
Could I ask about the fish and whatever, fish and chip and has any progress been made on that?
Sorry, don't know anything about it.
I know what you mean.
Well, I was told that there was supposed to be a bid for a fish and chip van on Country Park.
I'll just bring the clerk on this.
Yeah, you're right, Councillor Wright. The information was brought to us that there was an advert gone out for a catering truck in Country Park. The timing of which it would be there would be outside of the opening hours of the current cafe. It would be more than likely something like a fish and chip van, and that's what the advert had gone out for tenders for that particular facility.
Okay. Thank you.
Councillor
I
Shackleton.
believe Stuart Clark has apologised to the council for not mentioning it at the meeting we had over Park.
Right. Thank you for that. Any more questions for Councillor Cocker while he can speak? I'm going to get out, Mike. I'm not doing it again. No?
No.
No, right, thank you very much. I will now end the adjournment and only members of the council may speak. Right, is there any more councillors wish to speak on organisations covered? No? Right, thank you very much. We'll move on to number 10 now. Schedule of payments. Do any members wish to make a comment or ask us a question about the schedule? Councillor Meek.
General Fund, Dave Communications, £92.31. Have we looked in to see if we can get just a telephone system, I take Daisy's with?
Yes.
Have we looked in to see if we can get it cheaper anywhere else?
We tied, as we said at the last thing, we tied into a contract for a period of time. When that comes up, we will of course look for the most cost-effective method of providing service.
Yeah, didn't, like, it couldn't have run out at the same time as the broadband?
No, it was decided prior to the beginning of the year that the broadband would change to BT, but it was decided that the telephone contract would remain with Daisy at the time.
Councillor Shackleton.
I'd just like to add, Chair, that it is common practice for the clerk to investigate cheaper options as and when any contract expires, whether it be gas, electric, telephone, broadband.
Right. Okay. Then Councillor Wilkie.
Just wondered how the clerk found the GDPR training.
One word, confusing.
I wish he'd never found it. To be honest.
A lot of women to be paid to be confused. It's hard, isn't it?
It's very hard. I've gone through some of this with YLCA and by God, I'll tell you what, mind blowing.
I think the major difficulty, Councillor Wilkie, is that there are so many things that are in contradiction. That there are things which require us to be transparent, but equally there are things that prevent us from being transparent. So it can be very contradictory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Councillor Holden.
I was just going to say to the clerk that I think all your training is focused on me, because every time I go to speak, you say, you can't say that. Well, you say to anybody else.
No.
So I hope I've helped in your training. I was just
Councillor Shackleton.
To move on, Chair, I'd like to move this payment.
Yes, all those in favour of this? Right, thank you very much. Right, we'll go on to number 11 now. 3 men, 3 women, of Friday presentation event. The council to consider details and date of the event. Now this wants to be sooner than later because they've been hanging on for this for quite a while now. They do.
How many are? We're together. We're
together?
No, we both said the same thing when you said it wasn't how many people.
I didn't know that. Go on then.
Sorry, how it says the dates, but how many people are we giving? Are we giving to?
3.
3. Thank you.
And it won't be a full thing where they actually give a
Oh no.
all it will be is for the chair to hand the medal over for them, right, for a new
Badge.
for a new form on the certificate that I was looking for, and virtually it. So what I would like to suggest is that this is done at the next meeting, so that the Christmas drinks and thing comes into that as well. It'll take about 10 minutes at the most, and there'll be, well, if Kath Wilkie gets up there here, I'll be surprised. There'll be David Wilson and
Michael Theron. Michael Theron.
Michael doesn't want to know. No, he doesn't want to know. He doesn't. To be honest, I think he's lost his memory.
Oh.
Yeah, he's 80 odd. Come on.
My mum's nearly 90, but.
But this is the thing. Do we have it this next meeting and get it over with and finish with?
Well, if we're excluding Councillor Milky because we're still here, I don't...
No, I'm not
We're not excluding.
I'm not excluding
The
her.
same as I can get it from it.
Yes,
She's not a well...
That's on the chair, she's pressing a button.
yeah. And you have to hold the button on it all the time, haven't you, Marion? But she will be asked. She ain't going to be disregarded, she will be asked. Okay. Councillor Meek.
How about starting half an hour earlier? I've seen these 10 minutes before.
No.
I'm not joking, it will be literally 10 minutes because it's just to hand over a medal and a certificate.
I build up to it.
No, there's no build-up or anything like that on this one.
I
Because that's already been and gone.
I'll still suggest 6:30.
Councillor Wilkie and then Councillor Holden.
Yeah, if there's not a lot on the agenda, then fine, but if not, then I think January might be better.
Well, I will ask the clerk not to put too much on the agenda for that night then. Councillor Holden Banks.
I know we're discussing about giving out this new free woman and free... Are we going to continue doing this then? Are we going to have another time?
Yes, it will be continual with that.
Right.
But it will be the next lot that come up. This is just to replacing the medals.
I understand that, yeah.
So the next lot will come up, they'll have to be proposed and seconded and have to give a speech on it.
And have we got better criteria this time for the next lot then?
That is up to the strategic planning.
Right. So,
okay. Councillor Shackleton.
We spoke about many things that I regard minor or aimless this evening for long past the due date, time rather, so I'm sure 10 minutes for a lovely presentation won't go amiss.
Exactly. Is anybody, is everybody in favour of that?
Yes, in favour.
All those in favour, please rise. Thank you very much, everybody.
First item.
Right. So we go on now. Number 12 on the agenda, Trafford Rally. I hope you have all received the grant document below. The Council to consider and resolve the request for financial assistance for Trafford Rally 2019 at £3,342.80p for 2019 to hold their event in this town again. Right, now, they do bring a heck of a lot of trade into the town, they really do, don't they?
What did we give
They
you?
really do. So, I'll open it to the floor. Councillor Shackleton first and then Councillor Holden Banks.
Thank you, Chair. I asked for this to go on the agenda this evening because there is a level of confusion over this funding. In the past, we have not given a grant to the Trap Road Rally. It's been figure agreed by this council. So I think this grant application should be ignored and it should go back to this council to decide the level of funding. Now I have been in contact with Lloyd and as far as I'm aware they will be quite happy to receive the exact same funding as they received last year.
Right. I can't remember what that was.
2,500.
Right.
So as I say, there is a level of confusion over that.
Right.
He was misinformed because he was asked to apply for a grant by a fellow councillor. Obviously I won't name, because we can't name, but I'll call him Uncle Tom Cobbler. So I did try and swear matters with Lloyd over this and say it probably will be the same format again that this council decide to fund. Obviously as well, he'll have to wait till the new financial year.
Oh yes, after April, yeah.
But he would like to know ASAP whether we do agree to fund again, so they can obviously organise.
Yeah. Councillor Anthony.
Did we do something in kind last year, like the PA system or something?
I think we just gave them a grant, not a grant, we awarded them 2,500.
Yes, and there were, yes, but one of our councils actually organised a PA system, so it could use down at the front as well. That's without saying any names.
I can't do it, not saying the name. No, I know what you're talking about.
Councillor Wilkie.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused when I saw the grant, but now Councillor Shepard's explained that. I think we should just go ahead and, in principle, say same as last year. It was a massive success.
Oh, yes.
All
the guest houses.
The town was,
All the
there was a different feel to it that way,
Red
and it was
Lovely.
just great. So I have no problems with it.
So Councillor
Advertising was appalling. There were people in town and didn't have a clue what was going on.
Yeah, there's a bit more advertising. Councillor Shackleton.
I'd just like to say about, I'll be brief, about advertising, it is their event, and in some respect, they do have responsibility for making sure they get advertising out there. And I'm sure it's in all the motoring papers. All the motorheads, all the petrol heads will know that it's on.
But it was particularly about our tourists that are coming didn't know about it, so tourism advertised it all.
Well, perhaps tourism,
Yeah.
need to get their act together this year.
So have we got a proposal for this?
Yeah, I'll just propose that.
Right, we've got a seconder.
Yeah.
Councillor Mead. Seconder. Okay. All those in favour of that, please show. 2,500.
500. So that will be included in obviously next year.
And that will put that in for next year. Okay. Right.
And also, Chair, if Councillor Anthony is correct in her assumption that we did, or somebody did like for like it, if that could be arranged as well, or mentioned to Lloyd.
Yeah. Same. That's all. Okay. Right. Number 13 then. Light Up a Line service. The council is reminded that they are invited along with the mayor to a service at 3 p.m. Sunday, December the 2nd at St John's Church, Filey, on behalf of the patients and volunteers and staff of St Catherine's Hospice. So all councillors are invited along to that service as well. Okay? I've been to before and they are quite good.
Can I put my apologies in?
So are you?
I'm on holiday.
Yes, Councillor Councillor Holden Banks?
I was just going to add mine along with Councillor Meeks. I'm in London that weekend.
Right. Does anybody else put apologies in now? Councillor Anthony?
For personal reasons.
Personal. Anybody else?
Tell me again the date, please.
The...
Second.
Yes.
8 p.m.
Second. Sunday. Okay. In that case, we'll move on then. School financial assistance, Eber Academy. I hope you have all received the letter concerning the request. May I open the item for discussion? Can I bring you in on this one? Councillor Shackleton.
Yeah, Finance were aware of this matter at their last meeting. After much discussion, it was decided that it's not really within the council's remit to do this. My personal view on it is if, you know, these girls want to run this trade, they really should fundraise themselves and get sponsorship money. I know when I was mayor, I personally sponsored one of the girls to go to Mexico. So it can be done, I do know that. But the main point is it within this council's remit, you know, to get money for this cause.
You see, problem is, with it being a top school, I call it that, everybody knows it as that, it isn't just Filey lads and lasses that would be going. There's some from Malton, there's some from all over the place, you see, and this is where the problem comes in. Okay, Councillor Wilkie.
I think the request is for local people, isn't it?
It is.
We give, it would be for them, wouldn't it, to go, not for others.
Who knows, until they get it.
I think the difficulty is that it is a business, effectively, Ebor Academy. They're asking for the assistance. So from having a power to gain any finance from us, we really haven't got that power to be able to offer them the financial assistance. And from an overall point of view, it doesn't give benefit to the community as a whole. So therefore, we're unable to do it if we reasonably wanted to be able to do it.
The request is from the academy, not from individuals.
And again, the difficulty is in the actual letter itself. It's from the academy, i.e. it's from the teacher at the academy, and they are wanting financial assistance made payable in cheques to that particular person. So that again is a very difficult area to get into. And really we can't do that, full stop.
Okay. So, Councillor Holden Banks.
If the clerk's saying we can't do it, have we just got this for information then, rather than having a debate on it?
It is just for information, yes.
Oh yeah, did we have to not given these any money previously then?
No.
This.
Not the council.
Not
the council.
So this letter is just for us to look at.
Councillor Shackleton did that off his own.
Oh no, I totally understand that, but what I'm saying about the clerk just saying then that we can't do this, so is this letter just for us to look at? You don't want us to make...
It's for information.
Just for it, so there's no vote on it, we're not doing it because we can't do it. Right.
Councillor Anthony.
Can I just ask who we gave money to last year then? There's some kids came in and got a cheque.
It wasn't them. Certainly wasn't anybody from them. There. The money that was given out last year.
We did something.
The grass team, I don't know what it's called.
A football club, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it was a football club.
Yes, it was fine.
No.
It's
So I stay awake.
Yes, you will.
I'm doing it. Just to say, we used to have a youth foundation,
We did.
and this is the sort of thing that would have applied for it, but even then we had to have specifics of what they were wanting the money for.
Yeah.
It was either for photography, clothing, things like that. Was never for travel
No.
or anything like that, and not just to spend on other people. It had to be towards a specific. But of course, we did get applications then, so it
Yeah.
went by the by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, can I just clarify this one more time, just in case anybody local asks me? The reason now we're not having a discussion about it, well we are, but we're not making a vote on it, is because we can't do it as a council anyway.
No.
Right. So if somebody says to me, why are you supporting Top School on this? I can say, because it's something the Valley Council cannot do. Is that the right? Right, that's fine, as long as I know what I'm saying.
Correct. Councillor Shackleton, then Councillor Wilkie, if he wants to speak.
Nothing at all to stop this council giving some money to these young girls, but that will be down to individual members.
Yeah.
And we could all throw £20 into a pot, and there's also the Christmas card collection. You know, if members felt strong enough, that can be done, but as a council,
Yeah.
I hope it's been explained sufficiently.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, can we move on then on that one, please? Number 15. Plastic Free Council. Councillor Anthony.
I asked for this to be put on the agenda due to the interest in Farley at the moment. We've had Surfers Against Sewage, although not a Farley organisation, that do regular beach cleans. We've got our own beach clean people. We've got a new social media site called Plastic Free Farley, which is about encouraging various groups to cut down on their plastic use, particularly single-use plastic, which thankfully we don't use much as a council. And I just wanted the council to be aware of this and perhaps to consider that we might work towards being a plastic-free council. I don't think it would be too onerous for us, because I think, as I say, we don't use a lot of single-use plastic and things like that. So
Yeah.
I was hoping it's something that we could consider.
In the future.
Well,
Instant.
Kevin?
It's an easy one for me. I think we should just get on with it.
Councillor Shackleton?
We've all seen that.
Sorry.
We've all seen that TV programme.
Yes.
Expertly presented by Mr. Strattenberg about plastics. You know, it is a good thing, but you know, we need to get the traders in the town involved as well. You know, get rid of plastic straws, what's wrong with paper? And a lot of the packaging, fish and chip packaging and things like that. You know, it's not just us as a council.
We could
It's
encourage
everybody in the town. You know, we need to encourage as Councillor Wilkes.
Councillor Holland Banks?
I think if we lead by example, by being a council that's plastic free, and then hopefully, as you both quite rightly said, speak to Chamber of Trade and Inspiring Tourism, and you know, present that to them, and hopefully, I know a lot already are on board, and I know, personally myself know plastic bags, know there's another lot of traders that are all using paper bags and stuff, so it's already very much, and I think it'd be a good thing to put on our website, plastic free, you know, I think it'd be good forward thinking advertising, and it's just a no-brainer really. It's something we should be, especially being at the coast and all the beautiful stuff and the rewards we keep winning. It's the right thing to do.
Exactly. Councillor Anthony and then Councillor Reid.
Has everybody seen the information that got sent out? So everybody's aware of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It suggests on there that we table a motion to propose the town becomes a plastic-free council and supports plastic-free communities in the area, which would mean supporting groups. And I'd be quite happy to take a lead on that.
Yeah.
Councillor Reid?
We'll vote you in.
Time's getting on now, come on councillors. Councillor Reid?
As a council, thinking about it, I think only plastic we could actually get away and do away with is buying milking.
What?
Because plastic bottles, that's all that we...
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I can't think of anything else that we get or use in this council that you can do away with.
Plastic 94.
No plastic.
Is
through you, Chair, I think you'd be surprised
Just what?
at how much single-use plastic will come through these offices. You'll be amazed. You won't believe it. I've started looking at it on a personal level, and I cannot believe how much single-use plastic. I'm not talking about recyclable, we're talking about single-use plastic.
We've done exactly the same.
Oh, Chair.
Okay.
So can I move
Yes. Yeah.
that Barney Town Council becomes a plastic-free council and supports plastic-free communities in the area? That's your sweet.
And I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a proposer and a seconder for that.
Yeah.
All those in favour, please. Are you, Councillor Shepherd?
Yeah, I'm in favour, but I think, you know, the proposal should be that this council strives to become, not is. Not at the moment, no way it should be. One way it should be strives to become a plastic.
Oh. Is that your amendment?
No, I've not made it. Thinking of something to say, Councillor Anthony, but no, I'm for it.
I'm sure the clerk can work through it.
Okay, that's that one. Okay. 16. Piney Festival.
Yes.
Item requested by Councillor Roderick. Could I please bring to your attention that information received from YLCA is that the council is not responsible in any way for the actions of outside organisations. Could I request Councillor Roderick to give a brief background statement?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the council other than we have actually funded it in the past. The only reason I got involved with this because somebody told me that it had an AGM and that nobody had been to it basically. Probably because nobody really knew because they only put it on Facebook. I did go and see the two directors involved to find out basically what was the decision, what had gone on. And I was not particularly pleased for the simple reason that it transpired that 2 days before the meeting they had the same directors set up a private company to do precisely the same thing. And the conversation went along the lines of, because I asked what money have you got left, thinking perhaps that bearing in mind what had gone through the summer, some of it might have been ours, is what I'm concerned about, because if you hadn't spent it, we want it back. I was told that they were going to put it into an account in both the joint names and they would decide what they were going to do with it at a future date. And this is the bit that triggered me into looking at it seriously because the memorandum and article association set up by the same director of the council of does dictate that they should have 3 directors. They did not have 3 directors, they only had 2 directors, and for a considerable period last year they only had 1. In other words, decisions were being made by people who legally were not responsible, and this worried me. In particularly the shambles that it turned out to be this year because of the weather and what have you. I know I spoke to the clerk about this because he knew I got concerns. You did, didn't you, James? I mean, we discussed with them. And I wasn't. It worries me that things like this go off and that we don't seem to realise that it is happening. And by default, if you like, we're getting dragged in it. Although it's got nothing to do with us. People take the view that, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. How this finishes off, I cannot say. It is now out of my hands and into somebody else's. And quite how it's going to end up, I just don't know, because it would seem that in 2 instances they were seriously out of order in the decisions that they took.
Right.
But as I say, I was concerned about if I can get our money back, because you had to spend it right, you know.
Yeah.
Well, truth be told, that they know the end of the end, but I came away with.
Right. Right, Councillor Roderick. What would you like to put forward on this?
Nothing, I just want this noted for future reference that one of the things that seem to happen, and you can correct me if it's wrong here, John, because you're on that committee, that we have not been asking for things like constitutions, accounts and all that have not been requested.
Yes, we do.
And the other thing was that...
No, did you read my reply?
Yes, I take that on board, right. And were we in the habit of asking how they had spent their money? Did we ask for
That's
anything?
always on the application form, what they wish
And
to
do we
spend
check
the
up that
money.
they've done it?
Well, usually,
don't get
it's a bit difficult with festivals, but usually we do ask for a receipt
Yeah.
or payment, but obviously on a festival, if they wanted it for promotion or to pay a band, it's somewhat difficult.
It's somewhat difficult, yeah.
Have to
But-
trust the people.
Yeah.
Well, this would be the general idea of it, but, you know, I do sometimes wonder if people do, if you like, push it a bit and take a bit of advantage, because they think,
Councillor Wright.
In what respect?
Councillor
Could you
Chapman.
first? Sorry.
No, it's quite all right,
No,
Councillor.
go on.
You need a
Ladies
question.
first.
I was going to say, in what
I
respect?
think you know that.
I mean, people do things in this town voluntarily, with all good intentions, with good people, giving their time, hundreds of hours of their time, and as a lot of the time out of their own pocket as well, I may say. And I do object to this, you know, trying to nitpick about things, and they had a lot of disappointment this year, and they had a lot of things to pay for that never actually happened.
this is true, and I know that for a fact.
But why, so why are you being
Because I am saying that in this particular instance, there was a legal question as to whether or not they could actually do what they did. And actually they could not. They needed the other, after you resigned, they were direct to show and they never got anybody else. And they should have had the three. It is quite important that it's done that way, but that's not, you know. And they didn't do it, and that was it, and that's what worried me, and as I say, knowing had they spent the money that we gave, more like it wasn't a lot, but did they or didn't they have to spend it, and it seemed to be that they didn't actually know whether they had or they hadn't. So I left it at that point. I am not pointing fingers at anybody, I'm making a statement here, that if people are going to apply for funding, and this is what I asked you, John, if they're going to apply for funding, then we have a perfect legitimate right to know that they can A, legally do what they set out to do, and B, they've got a bank account we can pay it into, if that makes any sense to you.
They had. So,
Councillor Shackleton first, and then Councillor Anthony.
Yeah, just firstly I'd like to correct something there. It's not our money, it's actually public money. So we do need to be accountable for this money in some respect. Going on to, you know, to people that chit-chat in the street, say they should have done this, they should have done that. Well, quite frankly, I just don't have any time for them people at all. Because it's the people, as Councillor Wright said, that get out there and get their hands dirty and do things, instead of sitting back and saying, well, that were the poor who want it. But, you know, when they weren't prepared to get involved. That's my second rant this evening, Chair.
Right, thank you very much for that,
To
Councillor.
try and bring it to some sort of conclusion, may I suggest that we write to the director, who I know very well, and I trust him, you know, explicitly. I think perhaps the council should write and just ask for an explanation or an update on the situation regarding funds or funds that they've got left. Was the council's money spent? Or should I say, was public money spent?
Well, just before we decide on that, can I bring Councillor...
No,
in?
that's said what I wanted to say.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And that clears matters up wonderfully there,
Yeah.
an explanation.
So we've got a proposal from Councillor Shackleton, seconded Councillor Meek. All those in favour of writing, the clerk writing and for an explanation.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a heavy-handed chair, it's just, you know,
Yeah,
just so we know what,
yeah.
and then we can, you know, say to anybody that mentions it, well, on the back.
Exactly.
As long as we know what's going on.
Yeah, because it's the councillors that's in the front line on the street. It really is. I know I don't go more than 10 yards down the street and I'm stopped.
You've only to look on Facebook, chair, at all the dribble that's on.
Oh, I don't bother with Facebook.
know.
I don't bother with Facebook anymore. No. I know there's a lot of it goes on that red up.
I abstained there, by the way. I abstained there, by the way.
Right. Councillor Anthony abstained from that, so although, can we have a vote again now, hands up, to make sure on this one? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us, Councillor Anthony. Okay? Right. We'll move on now to number 17 on the agenda. Date and time of next meeting. Please could council confirm the date and time of the next meeting as Wednesday the 14th of 12th of December, and here's the mystery.
Jeff's point.
Can I just ask the councillors, before I close the meeting, do we need to start this next meeting half an